Hang tight.
I'm Eric Lewald, and I'm showrunner on the original X-Men the Animated Series, and I'm also an executive producer on X-Men 97. X-Men the Animated Series was the greatest job I ever had, that Disney was able to come up with a continuation of the series, which is very gratifying to us.
My name is Larry Houston. I'm the producer-director of the original series and currently executive producer on the new X-Men 97 series. 97 is a validation of all the work we did, and it's great to see that the following is still there.
I'm Julia Lewald. I'm a writer on the original X-Men the Animated Series and executive producer on X-Men 97. Working on anything that reaches anybody else ever is kind of the big dream. And the fact that I was able to work on X-Men the Animated Series and now 30 years later, X-Men 97, it's a remarkable testament to the fact that the show found an audience and that audience has remained faithful and loyal, and here we are again.
Listen up, people. Gene's psychic
This
scan-
clip is episode 1 of season 1 of X-Men 97.
It's great seeing the Blackbird again.
Oh,
What can I say? It's great seeing that vehicle.
And the whole team there, incredible, incredible.
Yeah, and this reminds me of this in episode 1, the sense that we got the new team for the 97 really loved Cyclops. He kind of suddenly took over as the head focus of the team. And in our show, I think it was more Xavier and Wolverine.
And what can I say? The animation is just so gorgeous. I did not have a budget to do any of this. I had like paintings. These guys got tons of money to make the show look so good.
A shout out to the female X-Men who were always able to fly. And it comes in useful, you know? Hey.
And you were told, use them more because it's cheaper to have characters fly than walk.
Oh, yeah.
Another Catch the X-Men Day.
This is fantastic. When Cyclops uses his beam as like a retro rocket, I could not do that in the original show. A lot of the aspect of what he could do, like landing like that, came from the video game more so than comic books.
We had 30 years of books to look at when we did our show. They had now 30 more years of books and all the video games and,
And live action.
and 9 movies to look at and decide what out of thousands of things they could do, they choose to do.
And all credit to the fantastic work that voice talent from the original cast of X-Men the Animated Series who were able to come back and be a part of X-Men 97 and the new voices they brought in. It's seamless.
Yeah.
And this is from episode 2 of X-Men 97, season 1.
The breeze is gone. I cannot feel it, nor the moisture, nor the air.
It's wonderful when Storm loses her powers.
Yeah.
Just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then Magneto.
Magneto. You're going, uh-oh. Magneto is pissed.
This is your dream. My kind splayed before you, powerless and afraid. All the X-Men have done is use their awesome power to protect a world that hates and fears them.
They let Magneto's side of things run in this series the way we never did. We kind of always leaned a little more towards Xavier and his theory of could affect social integration. And in 97, Magneto's back and Magneto's tired of putting up with it.
30 years
Yeah.
later, yeah.
Yeah, you say, I had enough of this.
My favorite part of writing the animated series was the philosophical difference between the two best friends. It's a real bromance for me between Xavier and Magneto. They grew up together, they've seen the best and the worst of the world together, and yet each one believes very strongly in their idea of the way mutants should either be integrated into society or stay separate. And it's a never-ending question. What do you put up with? Does the culture come together? Do they respect each other and stay apart? And with the mutants, they seem to be more powerful and more interesting and more evolved. And so that can be scary. And maybe it makes you understand why some of the people may not want them to be integrated with the hosts. So you understand both of them, you feel for both of them, but fascinating to watch Magneto be ascendant in their series.
But today, I have saved you from your own. For an old friend has challenged me to remember this view of Earth. How vast it is, versus how small we make it.
Jean Grey giving birth. That had been a thought you had, Eric.
Oh, yeah. People ask us, oh, during the 5 years you were doing X-Men, was there anything that the network wouldn't let you do? We ended the first season with Scott proposing to Jean, and she accepts, and that's the end of the season. We got a second series. Okay, how do we start it out? Have Jean be 7 months pregnant, running around fighting villains. And then Marvel came back and said, you know, great idea. We've been thinking about stuff kind of along those lines ourselves. Save it. So we only took 30 years to get there.
Do not make me let you down.
This is episode 5 from season 1 of X-Men 97.
And my gosh,
Yeah.
this particular episode.
When I read the script and saw what they were going to do in the Gambit episode, I asked them, are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
They said, are you sure? And I went up the corporate ladder and I said, yeah. So I went, okay, then just have them go out in a heroic fashion. You know, it caught a lot of fans and viewers off guard. This was going to be that type of epic episode.
Cause the cards always be in my favor.
We decided in our show that the very first story that an X-Men needed to die, and that it was Morph, and that's why Morph was included in our cast to start. He was supposed to be sacrificed in the first story, and you got how powerful that was, and all the fans bring it up. The fact that the Gambit that we've been with for now 80 episodes, 80 stories,
Yeah.
and then we lose him. That just and with the romance with Rogue, people gasped all over the planet when that came out in episode 5.
That's a whole nother discussion, just how you crafted the actual members who became the team that we all now think of when we think of the X-Men.
We picked 8 out of 29 people who had been X-Men in one comic book or another. And Gambit was new, and so Marvel was really behind him. He's so different from the rest of them. We tried to keep him mysterious. That was his thing. And yet, at the end of the first season, you knew he died for the others.
Truly, as spectacular as all the big blowing up and the flying and the lasers, coming down to the humanity in each story. The tension between Rogue and her own abilities keeps her incapable of touching another person, and she is so in love with Gambit, and now she can't feel him.
I can't feel you.
This is episode 9 of season 1 of X-Men 97.
Adamantium is like one of the key things for Wolverine. It makes him almost an unstoppable engine of destruction. Not only can he heal, and they can cut through anything. So whomever is in front of him, he doesn't back off.
We had talked very early in the first series about the idea, what if someone could gain control of Wolverine's metal in his bones? And I think that ended up becoming Repo Man, the episode, but never explored it to this extent.
And this is an interesting twist on it, because in the original series and in the books, when this adamantium is put into him, he's the only person that it would fit in, because his healing power, everybody else that tried it to experiment died. So he has this thing put into him, and he's been made into this indestructible warrior. He doesn't want to be. He's bitter about it. It's a trauma for him. He's been violated by having the stuff stuffed into his body. And now Magneto's ripping it out. And to his surprise, I think, he feels vulnerable and he misses it. And he suddenly doesn't feel like himself anymore.
This has been spectacular fun. Thank you so much.
We're just so pleased that 97 is going.
I always want to thank the fans, because without you, we would have never had a season 2.